From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
An attempted homicide in Boseman is described as particularly brutal. Just ahead, hear how two men attacked another man with a box cutter, a hammer, and chisel. Also, learn how they then attacked another person.
A police chase involving gunshots occurred in this neighborhood in Butte. I'll give you the details.
Behind me are the locked gates to the Stevens Creek Bison Quarantine Facility. I'm John Shearer in Yellowstone, and coming up, I'll explain what it takes to send a Yellowstone bison out of the park.
Alrighty, it is 6:31 on this Friday morning. Jane McDonald and Matt Elwell with you. Well, the two things similar in all those headlines, well, they were wearing those big winter coats.
Yeah. I think we all need to take note of John Shearer's outfit and follow along.
I do every day.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's the epitome of fashion.
He's my fashion inspiration all the time.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the heavier coats needed, maybe the yak tracks if you're walking around. Still snow and ice on the area roadways. Very cold this morning. Single digits, but sub-zero wind chills in many cases as the snow is tapering. A lot of blowing and drifting snow yesterday, so you'll still have some snow in some less than obvious places in some cases this morning. But the snow is slowly working its way out of the area. I think the afternoon brings us lots of sunshine. You can still see the snow flying this morning on the campus there, MSU. Temperatures expected to be into the teens for the afternoon, mainly morning snow showers with very little accumulation expected, but we are still dealing with slick roads. I'm going to look at some of the road conditions and what to expect for the weekend. It's going to be cold. That's all coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Well, the controversial proposal of opening a gas station next to a family-owned drive-in movie theater south of Butte is one step closer to happening. The board favored a 5-0 vote in favor of the gas station, despite much opposition from citizens last night. The owners of the drive-in argue the gas station will force them out of business due to too much light and noise pollution and drive their customers away. And Boseman City Manager Jeff Mihalik has offered to resign on the condition that he will be paid full severance as stated in his employment agreement. At a special meeting on February 12th, Boseman City Commission voted to ask Mihalik to resign. They told him to respond by February 14th. In his response, Mihalik agreed to resign as long as he received full severance, which, under his contract, would mean 12 months of salary or $257,737, according to Mayor Cunningham, with 18% of that being put into a retirement fund. A press release from the city states, at this time, the City Commission is not inclined to accept resignation with full severance. We currently anticipate an ethics complaint being presented for consideration at the March 5th, 2024 City Commission meeting. Commission may decide to authorize the filing of the complaint at this meeting. And new details about two stabbings last weekend in downtown Boseman. MTN's Jolie Sallee was in court as the suspects faced the judge for the first time.
According to court documents, a fight between a group of men ended up involving a hammer, a wooden chisel, and a box cutter. An eventful night which eventually led to a standoff in a Boseman neighborhood.
Anybody who would see these injuries would be very taken aback at the kind of damage an edged weapon can do to somebody very quickly.
25-year-old Andres Gonzalez and 21-year-old Santiago Echeverri were arrested on Wednesday in connection with two stabbings that happened early Saturday morning. According to court documents, a man was walking downtown when two Hispanic men jumped out of their vehicle and began attacking him with knives and hammers at the corner of Boseman and Olive, leaving him with cuts to most of his body and a deep laceration on his face. Court documents say eventually the men stopped attacking him to chase another person. That victim told police he and some friends were involved in a fight with the attackers earlier outside a downtown bar. After the fight, the second victim and his friends allegedly left the scene while the two suspects began driving after them. According to court documents, the suspects caught up with them and stabbed the one identified as JM several times. The attackers then left the scene. Early Wednesday morning, an officer on patrol spotted the suspect vehicle, a Nissan Armada, near East Story Street in Boseman.
I can't see. There they go.
This video was taken by a woman who watched it all go down from her window, a standoff resulting in 17 people detained. According to Detective Captain Dana McNeil, Gonzalez and Echeverry were the only 2 men arrested.
So the rest were released.
According to the charging documents, Gonzalez told police he and Echeverry used a box cutter and a chisel in the attacks. In court Thursday, Gonzalez and Echeverry each had their bail set at $300,000. Gallatin County arrest records also indicate that both the men are subject to an immigration detainer from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as an ICE hold.
I think that as we grow as a city, we're going to see more violent crime. We're going to have more issues like this.
In Boseman, Jolie Salee, MTN News.
And a Montana Highway Patrol trooper fired his handgun multiple times at a motorist who was fleeing from authorities in Butte late Wednesday evening. And MTN's John Amy spoke with residents in the area who described the chaos.
The sound of shouting and gunfire interrupted this quiet Butte neighborhood late Wednesday evening when the Montana Highway Patrol was involved in a pursuit of a fleeing motorist.
Heard all the what sounded like shots, all the Highway Patrol yelling, screaming, and I come out here and there's one of the Highway Patrol vehicles that are literally stuck in my backyard here.
Neighbors in the 1700 block of Elm Street heard the commotion about 11:15 in the evening when a vehicle fleeing from the Highway Patrol got stuck in snow near Elm Street and Home Avenue. Security video provided to MTN News by a resident near the scene captured the sights and sounds of the chaos.
Definitely an eye-opener because the shots were in my backyard. That's what woke me up. Yeah, that was like stuff you see on TV. It was an experience I won't forget, I'll tell you that.
After several minutes of officers ordering the driver out of the car, the video recorded the sound of the vehicle's engine revving and eventually driving away. And the patrol continued its pursuit. Witnesses say the driver was apprehended a few blocks away.
I mean, I heard all the screaming and not really sure what happened, but it was enough to wake up the whole neighborhood, you know.
The Division of Criminal Investigations, which is overseeing this incident, reports a trooper fired his handgun after the suspect allegedly sprayed 2 troopers with a chemical agent during the standoff. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
And last week, Yellowstone National Park sent 116 bison to the Fort Peck Reservation in northeast Montana. And MTN's John Shear explains why it takes so long for bison captured in the park to be sent to Indian tribes.
You know, you can just imagine these animals that were born in the wildness of Yellowstone, been moved into a corral for the last 300 days. Now they've just been on a truck for 500 miles.
The bison were sent to Fort Peck last week, but the park stayed quiet about the transfer until now because of past threats and protests when bison were moved.
To date, we've brought 414 animals to Fort Peck since 2019. Roughly 300 of those animals have now been moved to 26 other tribes, from as far away as Alaska to Michigan.
These gates behind me are locked. They're normally closed to the public because this is the bison quarantine facility for Yellowstone National Park. It's where the animals are held for 1 to 3 years.
Females will need to be in the program for that length of time, but then also breed and calve and raise that calf to 6 months of age.
Jeremiah estimates the northern bison herd at 4,500 right now and probably 5,500 by next summer. That's about at the 10-year average. Last summer, the park greatly expanded its bison quarantine facility.
There's a really good chance that in 2 winters from now, we will be moving over 300 animals from here to the Assiniboine and Sioux. These are the last animals that were the members of the last wild herd on this planet. So being able to bring those animals back to tribal areas means a ton to the people who live there.
In Yellowstone National Park, John Shearer, MTN News.
Alrighty, it is 6:41. We're going to take a short break here in Montana this morning, but when we come back, if you're already thinking about travel plans or long days on the water, well, some deals may be heading your way if you're in the market for a new rig.
I'm John Matteries. Dreaming of a new boat or RV this year? Well, for the first time since pre-pandemic days, you can actually get some good discounts. That story.